things. So these are basically parts of communication. And what maybe some of you all don't really know is that not all nonverbal communication is all cultural. As in, maybe the ones that we do here in the US are different than the ones we do in other places. For example, when I was in Japan, I was asked to come follow me, which in the US you go like this, right? Like this. It makes sense. But my colleague went, "Kitte kudasai," which in the US means go away. So I was like, I'm so confused right now. What do I do? I look over my corner like, what is going on? Even such things as counting are a bit different. So here we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There, they go the same as the 5, but roku, nana, hachi, kyu. You're like, why would you put them on the same hand? It's just a little different. Or, as even doing like, for verbal distractions, it's even different. So my and counters, I make that go up to the roof. They don't do that, because is really hard to say in Japanese. So instead they go, ano, etto, ano desu ne, wakannai. Like, I forgot. Or, ano, and they stretch it out. So just remember that not all our distractions or hand gestures are what we think they are. Maybe, even in the truth, we're the weird ones though.
You had 2 lights, so that's your verbal distraction.
Like,
light. And you used basically 3 main transition words. You used but or so.
Or for example as well.
Or for example.
Really? How was the time?
It was exactly 1:30.
Wow.
Pretty solid.
What were some of the other pros, guys? How about that volume?
I would say one of Jeremiah's definite pros, which we should all try to yokotan, is his volume. It was loud, it was booming. All of us could do that. And he did it, it's not just that it was projected, but he used it to help his speed of delivery. So that's another strength of Jeremiah, in that he had appropriate pauses, he had a good varied tempo, and that's definitely a strength.
Yeah, that speed of delivery was awesome because you're at a nice even pace and then you speed it up all of a sudden. What was one thing? I'm hurt. Like, you got really fast and then you slow back down. That's really something to take away, learn from.
Now, how do we say it was Jeremiah's body movement?
It was pretty interesting.
I would say-
That was really good. I liked how you not only went this way, but you also went back some too.
You went
You used the
3D.
whole stage to your advantage.
I don't like the same, like we always talk about doing triangle,
Mhm.
but triangle's boring.
Yeah,
You're
like,
right. I mean,
you don't necessarily have to do a triangle, it's just somehow reach each of the audiences, reach each of the thirds.
So the
And what-
triangle is 3-dimensional.
You can hit, yeah, you don't have to go from here. You can go like maybe somewhere down here and then go left.
Jeremiah, you can make about this. It's cool.
Sorry.
That's cool. I thought your hand gestures were really interesting, actually, because you talked about the Japanese counting. Doing this, I mean, very cool, very engaging, very interesting. So keep that up. And especially with this one, it's different. But even with other speeches, the more creative you can get, the better. Right?
Yeah.
So that was really interesting.
What do you say are areas of improvement for Jeremiah?
This is going to be really hard to give you feedback for improvement. But I mean, everything you did was so dynamic. It just made for a really rich speech. I would say the only thing that you could maybe help improve to add to that dynamic are your facial expressions. Your tone is very varied, but for the most part, when we're giving you feedback now, you smile a lot. And I would love to see that when you're actually speaking.
Yeah, I was trying to remember my content. But
Right.
I'll try. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Gabriel, you had something to say.
Yeah, I think, especially at the beginning, your body movement wasn't very purposeful. It was more like rocking around just for the purpose of moving. So maybe, it seems like most people disagree, but I thought try to move more purposefully instead of moving. Like